Over 40,000 years ago, who was sleeping with whom? Now, a stunning discovery
Evidence of a completely new kind of human being called
has unearthed a brand new type of human, previously unknown,
could revolutionize our understanding of early man.
pointing to a provocative secret about our past.
There were babies produced, and those babies ended up being integrated with the modern humans.
Are other types of humans hiding in our DNA?
If this is a female, I wouldn't like to meet the man that goes with it.
Could we, in fact, be hybrids? Deep in the Altai Mountains of Siberia, a fragment of an ancient body has been discovered in a cave. Dr. Svante Pääbo, a Swedish evolutionary geneticist, has traveled here over 3,000 miles to investigate. Because while the fragment appears human, it could prove to be unlike anything ever seen before.
And it's amazing to finally see this place. I've only seen the little pieces of bone from here, and finally I get to see the place where it actually all comes from.
So the palets находятся
вот в этом горизонте, да. То есть это вот на этом месте. Вот. И если в хронологическом...
After 30,000 years in the cave floor, all that's left of the body is a small finger bone.
I'm quite impressed, actually, that this very little finger bone was recognized as coming from a hominin.
То есть наверняка было гораздо больше органики, костей, но не сохранилось.
At less than half an inch long, could this tiny fragment of bone rewrite human history? 14 months ago, the finger bone was just another fragment waiting to be tested by Pääbo's researchers at the Max Planck Institute in Leipzig, Germany. For 20 years, his lab has been responsible for many of the greatest discoveries genetic archaeology has ever seen. When it first arrived here, the tiny bone merited little more than a routine species identification. No one was prepared for what happened next.
I got this phone call from the key member of our team at the time, and he sort of asked me if I sat down or not. And I got quite worried. I thought something terrible had happened. And then he told me that he had analyzed the DNA from this little finger bone, and it was something different, something unknown. And my initial reaction was, of course, can this be something wrong? Have you screwed up? So I came back, went straight to the lab and looked at the data. And indeed, it was very clear. It was exactly as he had said. It was not Neanderthals, not modern humans. This was some other kind of humans one had never seen before.
Archaeologists in Russia have unearthed evidence of a completely new kind of human being.
The news sets the archaeological world on fire.
It could revolutionize our understanding of early man.
It is the breakthrough of a lifetime, a new kind of archaic human, almost as important as the discovery of the Neanderthals 150 years earlier.
So then we thought that Neanderthals were found in 1856 in Neanderthal. That's why they're called Neanderthals. These were found in Denisova cave, so let's call them Denisovans.
Cartilage in the finger bone indicates it belongs to a child, but months after the initial tests, the cave in Siberia has yet to yield anything more, though there are compelling clues.
Уже здесь в раскопанной части был найден браслет и кольцо и другие костяные изделия и украшения. То есть это тоже свидетельство современного поведения человека в то время.
Our ancestors are the only ones known to create artifacts like these. Finding pieces like this in the cave could suggest that the Denisovans weren't the only kind of human living here.
This is a fascinating area, since we know that in this very cave has lived Denisovans and actually probably also modern humans. But what we don't know is that they were here at the very same time. That is still really up in the air. This place where we are, this valley across the Altai mountain, has been the crossroads forever, basically.
30,000 years ago, this place was common ground for the two most advanced groups of human beings on the planet. For nearly 200,000 years, the Neanderthals have thrived, ranging from Europe through the Middle East, all the way to Siberia. Meanwhile, a second group has emerged from Africa, early modern humans, our ancestors. They too have migrated here as they spread across the globe. But now we know a third group walked these mountains, the Denisovans.
This is actually the only place in the world where we know that Neanderthals, Denisovans, and modern humans have all lived. We don't quite know that they overlapped in time, but they must have met at some point.
This place holds no clue as to whether those meetings were hostile or something friendlier. To find those answers, Svante must return to his genetics lab. An ocean away, paleo-artist Victor Deák is wrestling with his own Stone Age mystery: sexual attraction between two different types of humans. Known around the world for his scientifically accurate sculptures and illustrations of extinct forms of humans, his latest commission is for an exhibit of human evolution for a museum in Texas. Today, he's exploring how an early modern man, one of our ancestors, met a Neanderthal woman 50,000 years ago and produced a hybrid baby.
Yeah.
Since emotion and behavior are hard to capture in sculpture, Victor's decided to photograph actors wearing prosthetics.
There we go. There you go. Well done.
Excellent.
Awesome.
There you are.
Wow. There you are. Whoa. I'm really fascinated by human evolution.
Okay.
But in a very visual sense. For this, though, you know, we're taking it into another level.
At the core of Deák's project is a cutting-edge revelation about our ancestry, discovered by none other than Svante Pääbo himself.
One focus of my research is to develop methods to retrieve DNA from old remains, from bones. And Neanderthals were always the holy grail, if you like.
The breakthrough came in 2010, when Svante's team sequenced 60% of the Neanderthal genome and revealed a stunning fact about our own history.
And as the data began to come in, we actually found that a few percent of the genome of people outside Africa, so people living in Europe, in Asia, Native Americans, come from the Neanderthals. Which means modern humans did have sex with Neanderthals. There were babies produced. And the fact that we see traces of their DNA in us today means that those babies grew up with the modern humans as modern humans. Had they stayed with the Neanderthals, their descendants would have become extinct, of course, when the Neanderthals disappeared.
It is this revelation that many of us today are actually hybrids that Victor is attempting to portray with his work.
This part is really cool. I'm seeing similarities between the lower portion of the Neanderthal face and our actress here, which again is gonna